Hello and welcome back to the Hayden Show. Another one of our little deep dive into Marvel live action pilots. Remember these now? Yes. And this one was more of the more funner, light-hearted pilot with Miss Marvel. This one, another one that we've done a overall review on, because this one's just a pilot. And it's very colourful. Like, it's one of the most creative ones, I'd say. Like, you got the whole like imagination sequences and stuff.
It feels like a live action Into the Spider-Verse in a sense.
Yes, it very much does. Like when she's describing like different versions of Captain Marvel she could dress up as, and you're seeing the graffiti in the background, it all resembles exactly what she's talking about. It's moving around. It's very, very creative, and I love how stylized it is. It has that comic book feel to it, like Into the Spider-Verse has, and it's done. I think they did it really well, because it could look cringy, but they did it in a very creative way. And I like, obviously, because the character of Kamala is a very like imaginative fangirl, really. Like she's obsessed over like most of the heroes in the Marvel universe, and specifically Captain Marvel. Hence why she tends to, well, she's called Miss Marvel. Why she resembles, her costume always resembles Miss Marvel, because she's a big fan, and I like how they kept that. They obviously do the first episode shows a lot of like more about her and her family's situation, really, with obviously her overbearing parents, or mom mostly.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. He's the more laid back one. The mom is more controlling one. You got obviously her older brother, who obviously gets a lot more of a break.
It's just like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. He seems like the one that like they let him get away with everything. You know what I mean? But he doesn't let it get to his head. But I like how the whole family dynamic, it seems realistic. It's very like it's just a part of the normal family. With a bit of a mystery, because it's mentioned that her mom has had some troubles with her mom, her
Grandma.
Kamala's nan, and the little mystery is talked on about, because like they mentioned the idea of letting fantasies get too
much.
Like being too obsessed with the fantasies and focusing on too much. That's why she's probably mostly worried and overbearing with Kamala. Because Kamala's a very imaginative person, and she's always making these fantasies in her head, and always drawing stuff and making the costume for like the Captain Marvel one. And has these like big. She even has a YouTube channel that we see at the start, and like she's literally basically her
Obsessed.
hyping up Captain Marvel.
Obsessed is the word you're after, yeah.
Definitely.
Obsessed.
Proper fangirl. It's like making her own like situations.
Basically you with Captain Marvel.
I did like Captain Marvel. But she's much more obsessed than me.
You mean because she has an actual outfit, whereas you don't?
So now I have to make do just hella.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I do like how they've done Kamala in this. Like the pilot, it makes you so genre straight away. Like she's a very fun character and a realistic teenager, and you just want to keep watching because she's pretty fucking hilarious.
Actually, yeah, the actress just did win an award for this.
Yeah, I can see why. Like, she definitely fits into the universe as well. Like you can see how she's gonna become this like hero. Because right at the end, we obviously see her. She has this like family heirloom, this mysterious like bracelet. Obviously, when she finally wears it for the first time, there's like this weird light show goes around her and exposes, like, she gives her powers pretty much, and we see the powers, and it's quite. I know there's a lot of controversy, obviously, when it was announced how her powers would be different from they are in the comics. I can understand why they've changed it. You would be a bit annoying, but I do like how they look. I think I mentioned this in the other review, but I do like just how they look and how they've been done. Very colourful, and I'll say it still has that sort of elasticity kind of feel to it. Yeah, I like how that was done. Yeah. The music is very cultural to obviously like India and Asia. It's very
Pakistan.
Yeah. Basically, it's her heritage, and it's her. I like how they embraced it fully. Like, they could have just like glossed over it and like not focused on it at all, but they did show it. They show the like.
Well, I tend to do that quite well, to be fair. I like the films like Black Panther, Shang-Chi. Wait a minute.
Obviously, even Moon Knight has the Egyptian style.
They have a lot of their music choices based around the culture it's focusing on.
Yeah, and I think they're doing really well. Because they could have just not focused on it, and I'm glad they did. They actually give full representation. It's a very good thing to do. Yeah. Anything else?
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno. Well, obviously he's her like basically he's her best friend, the one who the brains behind the operation. And smart. Obviously, he lives on his own, so obviously her family sort of adopts him into their family in a way. And he's quite a smart guy. He makes his own. Not going to say her name, but his own Echo. And
not to be confused with the Marvel character, the same name.
Yes,
she means a device that begins with an A, but we're not going to say it aloud because she'll beep.
Beep.
God damn it!
Yeah, there's a lot of. I like how he's done as well. He's quite a fun character. He seems like very natural, like he would be her best friend. They've got a lot of good chemistry together. Make a lot of like jokes and stuff. Like the one bit where like when she's saying like how she's worried that her mum like sees her as a weirdo, and he's like, "You are a weirdo." Yeah, I think they were a good chemistry together, and they work well. His inclusion was very good. Yeah, the
Big Hulk.
Your favourite scene?
Big Hulk, little Hulk.
Oh, that's like another example of the overbearing mother
And the fun dad.
Yeah, she doesn't want Kamala to dress up as like Captain Marvel because she sees that as like being too exposed and too skin tight and stuff. So obviously makes Kamala a more
cultural appropriate.
Yes, Hulk costume. And
Little
of course,
Hulk costume.
Little Hulk, yes, and gets the dad to wear the same thing but as Big Hulk, who is fucking hilarious. You can see the arguments on both sides. Like, she obviously has the whole problem with her mom, and she wants her daughter to basically not have these problems, and to also where she comes from, the idea of wearing something that's skin tight, as they say, big no. So it makes sense why she didn't like it. Whereas Kamala, she's been raised in America. She knows. She sees all people wearing even worse stuff, more skin tight. It's like, this one's not even that bad. As you can see, it's actually quite baggy in the episode on her. But like I said, you can see both sides.
Yeah.
So it makes it more realistic and more of a more natural family dynamic. Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Hints at the villains.
That's true.
Constant references to Jinns. And then the damage control end credit scene.
That's correct.
Where the guy from obviously No Way Home pops up. It's like, bring her in. End.
Ooh. There's like, there's like quite a few references to djinns. Like they mention how her brother mentions like, "Are you so scared of the djinns?" Like it's like one of those little old like fat kid stories, blah blah blah. And of course, the dad mentioned them as well. There's like little hints to it.
Yeah.
What's going to come on to future episodes? We don't go into that because
just the pilot.
Yeah,
just the pilot.
It's like whereas like other shows is more like have the whole mystery side to it. This one's more just like you're following her origins. It's like you're seeing her powers from the start. And you want to follow her throughout the entire journey, pretty much, till we get the full Miss Marvel. Yeah. Do you think anything else?
Sure.
I can't.
We spoke heavily about this show a lot more in the podcast.
That's very true.
Link below.
You can see that now. Right.
You're on the phone, don't you?
I thought it.
You literally just did this like 20 minutes ago.
I'm forgetful. Right. Oh. I think for the first episode.
I thought going into this.
I'm gonna put it. I'm trying to think. This is really difficult. Right, I'm gonna give it 97 and put it between Daredevil and WandaVision.
Daredevil and WandaVision.
Yep. I think like it's the introduction to a new character. It's like more of fun, very like teen drama character, and it's a bit more relatable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously that 97, as you said, where you put it, gives puts Miss Marvel episode 1 Generation Y into 6th position. As you know, they're knocking WandaVision down a peg, and knocking Port Angel out of the top 10 and into the extended canon universe. And now Poor Defenders sits in that slot, whereas we move into our last one until other Marvel shows start airing, and then we come back and add to the list. But obviously no other show has aired, so we only have one more to go to add to this list. Okay, so my question is, what you're looking forward to most in the Marvels? For the fact that obviously Kamala's gonna be back and actually interacting with Carol. What you're looking forward to most in that? Okay, that's it. I think we hope you enjoyed. Obviously next week we move on to our final entry of Series 4. For obviously it's Christmas time, and we actually finally get a top 10 in the Christmas ones. And obviously that is going to be She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. But until then, as I say, we hope you enjoyed. And as I say, you can check out the Miss Marvel podcast, which is a joint podcast with Moon Knight. It was half and half. It's the second half we did Miss Marvel. You can check that out. There's a link. And hopefully we shall see you next time.
Bye.
If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.